Greetings viewers, welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast featuring Dawn of War 2 Retribution. And I don't know about you guys, but it was Thanksgiving over here in the US, and I'm stuffed full of turkey and mashed potatoes and loveliness, so I hope all of you that celebrated had a splendiferous feast, and those of you who didn't, you're missing out. It's a great time. Fun American holiday. Anyways, let's take a look at our game today. We got a little retail action happening here today, and I know everyone wants Elite Mob, but there's still good retail games that happen, and I'm going to cast them because they amuse me. Also, I am a sucker for slugga play, and that's what I saw in the title of this particular replay. On the red side, we have Naaium as our Orky mech boy, teleporting ranged hero, and then JustFly, a player I'm not familiar with, but has a lovely blue pattern on his Chaos Wordbearers army as the big mean Chaos Lord, unstoppable by just about anything. So we'll have to see what's going on here. I did mention I saw in the title of this replay, double sluggas versus double CSM, so I'm sure that's going to be the opening build orders here, and we're going to have to see how that works out. Double sluggas seems like not a particularly good idea against the big bad Chaos Lord and a pair of Chaos Space Marines, of course, because the Chaos Lord can kind of act as a sort of defensive screen between your Chaos Marines and any Orc units, kind of deterring melee away, because of course he can use his Kill the Weak ability and in a 360 AoE knock down all melee and absorb life from them. I'm sure we'll see it in this first engagement as the mech boy's been trying to do a little damage right here. You may have noticed the Chaos Lord crushes cover. He kind of ran over there to kind of take away some of these pipes, so Orc shooter boys will presumably be not hiding behind them. But all things considered, mech boy and a pair of slug is probably a pretty formidable army. If JustFly does choose to get a Havoc to kind of counter the melee that he's going to be encountering here, it's not really going to work out because the mech boy will just teleport in. Of course, we're going to have to see how this works out. Sluggas tend to not do so well against heretics, and of course the Chaos Lord himself, who's been running around in the middle here, just kind of stalling a bit while this mech boy and all the various things shoot him up. Here comes the Kill the Weak. He tries to fake it out. Naaium sees it coming and moves back. He's going to try to kite, and he might just pull it off. Yeah, the Chaos Lord goes down, getting a little cocky, thinking he was going to get some free health off of those slugger boys. They do have to retreat, and these Chaos Marines are going to beat the heck out of those poor shooter boys. They do not fare well in melee at all, and actually kind of hesitating, turning around there to ask if the mech boy needed help, but he decided he was going to be able to handle it on his own. And in the meantime, not much capping really has happened. A lot of the Orc forces were kind of preoccupied with the Chaos Lord. Mech Boy's just going to teleport out of here as these sluggas move in. Second squad of Chaos Space Marines is here to cause some hurt. Mech Boy's probably going to teleport in and probably negate some of that range damage. Yeah, there he goes, engaging in melee. He's not going to be able to stick around long, though. Those Chaos Marines do pretty reasonable melee damage. And of course, they just turn right around and engage the healthy squad. Although this slug is probably going to take enough damage that they're going to have to get out of there. But a good early win, all things considered, out of that long early first engagement here in the center. This map, of course, kind of revolves around the center. There's 5 resource points right here. 3 requisition, 2 power nodes, and really whoever can kind of hold this center little pile of resources tends to control this map. So we're going to have to see how that works out. Sluggas moving in while shooter boys have the other side suppressed. Nice use of aiming. What's that to slow down those kiting Chaos Space Marines? And now Sluggas going to move in on the second squad. Chaos Lord's back onto the field, however, as we've been just kind of staring at this one point on the map the entire game right here. A nice special attack by the shooter boys doing some excellent damage and knocking down the Chaos Space Marines as the Chaos Lord closes in on the shooter boys. JustFly going to be a bit behind in power, though, as far as tech goes. He is just building his first generator. Naaium has all 3 of his up, of course. JustFly had to repurchase his Chaos Lord and a couple Chaos Space Marines. Naaium been losing Orcs here and there, but doing a good job of lead so far on those Chaos Marines. If he can take a couple Orc losses for each Chaos Space Marine here in Tier 1, then he'll probably be in the clear, all things considered. Mech Boy upgraded with the triple DoW2 gun. Gonna be doing some pretty nasty damage to the Chaos Heretics. We're gonna see what kind of melee force this turns into come Tier 2. Naaium does have the tech advantage as of right now, so I feel like if he can get into Tier 2, get some knobs on those slugger boys, and get a truck, he'll be in good shape, because the kind of thing with sluggas right now in retail, of course, is that in Tier 1 they're pretty lackluster, but once they get those knobs on them, they are just super nasty. Slugga Boys moving in on the pair of CSM, taking lots of damage, though. They're just going to draw fire and buy some time for the second squad to get in range. There goes the aiming. What's that? Slugga Boys going to engage the non-suppressed squad, I'm assuming. Everyone's wogged up and doing some nice damage. There goes the special attack. At least one Chaos Marine goes down right there. Looks like they're going to snag a second. The third one does escape, and the Sluggers are going to have to get out of there because they'll just lose that melee battle right there to the Chaos Space Marines. Shooter Boy's getting a bit too close right there, I feel like, considering that they could have done a lot more damage had they stayed at range a little bit. They're upgraded with their knob, who will do pretty decent, and those Chaos Marines are just letting that Mech Boy shoot him up. They could have turned to engage him. Of course, they're kind of in a tight spot between two powerful range squads. And Slugga's coming in. Good job with Naaium kind of stalling out there. JustFly may wanted to get, I don't know, maybe a second Heretic squad or something like that to really help out keeping those Sluggas at bay. JustFly, I feel like, might want to be, instead of using his Chaos Load, using the Heretics to kind of screen for the Sluggas, because they can just Doom Blast, do some excellent damage, and suppress the squad, keeping it from doing too much right there. Mechboy just teleporting away, baiting these Heretics around, and JustFly went for it, unfortunately. And now he's in a tricky position because there are Sluggas in the retreat path. And they're actually, wow, look at this. Naaium somehow managed to split them up so that they're on either side. And let's see, oh no, but both of the ones that we're going to intercept, those Chaos Heretics, do go down. Oh, I love Slugga play. I feel like it's the way orcs are supposed to be played. Like, I see lots of mechs go for kind of triple shooters, just range spam, but man, Sluggas are just so satisfying when you get them to work. Both players heading into Tier 2. Naaium with a bit of a lead right here. Chaos Lord, in case you haven't noticed, upgraded with his Combat Flamer, so doing nice range damage while those various orc squads kite around. Naaium's finally gotten a little bit of an even out, or a lead on the VPs here. 2-1, although all things considered, JustFly has the map advantage. He's got most of the center resources. If you look down there on the mini-map, most of that does belong to him, so he's probably doing pretty good on rec income. Yeah, you can see he's getting about 30 more a minute than Naaium is right here. But he's lost quite a few Chaos Space Marines, and they're just not cheap to reinforce. So long as Naaium's taken out a few of them every engagement, he's really, really stalling out and making it work for him. JustFly going to be heading into Tier 2 here shortly. It'll be interesting to see what he goes for. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe like a quick Blood Crusher or something like that. Would be pretty effective, being able to charge and roar and just kind of keep this melee at bay while the Chaos Marines pound into it. Mechboy can of course get his Beaming Death Gun, but he has to sit still for that, and I think overall that'd just be a good choice. Oh man, and as soon as the Doom Blast goes off, perfect timing, that Slugga Knob warps in, hits the Swamp 'em ability, and starts hacking up Chaos Space Marines. They're trying to kite around, but that knob's just going to keep on trucking, and there goes one Chaos Space Marine. A few Sluggas have gone down, a second Space Marine goes down, and there's two orcs left. I don't actually know if they'll win this battle. He chooses to pull back after a special attack goes off. Probably a good choice. No reason to lose that Slugga Knob right there. They got a lot of kills right there, so no reason to fall prey to unnecessary bleed when you've got the advantage. Plague Marine's coming onto the field, an interesting choice. I'm sure he knows that truck is coming, but I'm surprised to see Plague Marines as the choice to deal with that. They are pretty resilient to melee, as they have their knockback whenever one of them is killed, but not necessarily. I don't know, I feel like a Blood Crusher, or I don't know, just anything else would be better right now. But we'll see how it works out. Noise Marine's definitely a very obnoxious unit. JustFly gathering his forces and mustering his strength right here. Surprised to see no aspiring champion upgrade on those Heretics as well, because that would just be another way to help kind of deal with these Slugga boys. So Naaium does have tank busters. Naaium probably was expecting a quick Blood Crusher or maybe a Dreadnought. Yeah, had he not chosen to buy the Noise Marines, he certainly would have had enough for a Dreadnought. Heretics moving in on the tank busters. Slugga boys hacking up some Chaos Space Marines. Heretics gonna move in to suppress and push them back. And good play there by JustFly, knocking all that out and using his Chaos Lord to take out the other squad. Unfortunately, he's going to lose him. He's getting a sync kill right now. That's the only reason he hasn't fallen yet. Truck is there. Sluggas are there. There goes the first Plague Marine shot, and they need to keep moving up. Always keep your Plague Marines moving towards that vehicle, because even with that slow, they'll probably be able to fall back and kind of get away from that shot. There goes the Worship, allowing those Plague Marines to hopefully get another shot off. Oh, the truck is so low, but I think it's going to get away, yeah. Especially with the mech boy using his vehicle global right there. 426 to 425, EPs just haven't been moving. A lot more battling than capping so far this game. And a good route by JustFly. Unfortunately, at the end there, he lost his Chaos Lord. He probably should have pulled him out a bit sooner. Needs something other than that Combat Flamer once he does get into melee with the orcs. Here comes a Tank Buster Barrage right on top of that. Oh man, look at him just fly right at the camera. Oh dear. That's something that actually happens fairly often when heretics get hit by Tank Buster Barrages. I don't know if it's because the location of the explosion is on the ground or what, but heretics tend to fly when they get hit by that barrage. Anyways, Plague Marines over here punching up some shooter boys, and they are just so resilient and have such nice regeneration that they're going to be able to do it pretty well. Meantime, they spot the truck, gonna start pouring a couple rockets into that. Slugger boys were trying to get a power harass, but I don't think Naaium was paying attention, and they got pretty beat up by the Chaos Lord. Second squad now on the field moving in, but they've got a lot of range damage to deal with. They're gonna charge in. Oh, and Armor of the Inferno must be researched. Down goes the Slugga Knob. Let the Galaxy burn. Annihilates some Sluggas and deters them pretty easily. In the meantime, Chaos Lord choosing to engage the Tank Busters. I really think he should have gone for the Shooter Boys, but oh well. Oh no, he needs to get out of there. He doesn't want to lose that Chaos Lord again. He's already lost way too much wreck for that. And with the Sluggas moving back in here, he's gonna have to fall back. Plague Marines sticking around, it looks like. Maybe gonna... Nope. He decided against it. With that Aspiring Champion, he may have been able to cause some damage there, but with the truck, of course, that Sluggas squad would have just kept reinforcing, and that's maybe what he realized there at the last second, and that's why he decided against pushing in with the heretics. JustFly with a pretty reasonable pile of resources. Unfortunately for him, though, Naaium has gone into Tier 3, and it looks like both of these Chaos Space Marines are going for the Mark of Siege, which are going to give him some just terrible anti-infantry damage, which is really going to be a pain for these orcs, and they'll be doing great against knobs if that's what Naaium chooses to bring out. Plague Marines on the field, so he's probably not going to go for a looted tank. He's just barely kept this truck alive a couple times so far here, as it is. I really think Naaium should probably be kind of pressuring the VPs a little bit more here, but he's causing so much bleed by taking out all these Chaos Space Marines time after time that it's really just, I don't know, keeping that wreck out of JustFly's hands is probably just as effective. A nice point blank, let the Galaxy burn once again, but there's a second Slugga squad still on the field that hasn't retreated yet. Oh, and a nice Plague Marine explosion. Alright, I may have been wrong. These Plague Marines actually proving quite useful at both dealing with the war truck and deterring the Slugga boy pile here.
Give me a challenge. A requisition point is slipping away.
So, man, all these power generators pretty low. Plague Marine's probably going to be able to pop a missile into each one and take them out. Maybe a couple, maybe a couple. Mech Boy way back, getting a little wreck decap in there while he brings some knobs into the game here. Once they hit the battlefield, it's going to be a big problem for JustFly. He's kind of been using these Plague Marines well, but he doesn't want to lose too many of them because they're super resilient, but they're also very expensive to reinforce, so it's quite costly to kind of lose a Plague Marine or two just to get that kind of AoE explosion there. But so long as he doesn't lose like 3, which I think he may have lost. No, he only lost 2 so far. Mech Boy getting beat up, trying to got the decap on that power, but Oh man, let the galaxy burn, being so mean constantly here. Icon of Corn, giving him some help for every melee attack, trying to make him a bit more resilient here. Used his ability, but he's got knobs in his retreat path. I'm not sure he's going to make it out of here. Oh, 12-3, and down he goes. Shootaboy's nabbing the kill for those lazy orcs that couldn't keep up. Dreadnought on the field now. Triple cap against Naaium right now. But man, 3 losses to that Chaos Lord. All things considered, JustFly doing very well at dealing with this, but been losing his hero way too much. Both players have gotten a nice power bash on each other, and pretty even in that, but really that's just the only point where he's messing up, is allowing Naaium to take out his commander so many times. Still not out of the game by any means. Has some good resource income, has a good VP lead. Up by about 100 VPs right now with the Dreadnought coming out. Knobs activating their meaner and greener ability. Meanwhile, melee all over the place, causing lots of hurt. You can see that Dreadnought's going straight for the Hugbot mark. That Mark of Corn gonna give him the double power claws and make him a big problem for all this melee. Of course, without the Chaos Sorcerer on the field, gonna have to be a little bit more strategic with the use of that Blood Rage ability. Man, I really do like that blue color scheme for the Word Bearers, by the way. Look how nice that Dreadnought looks. That fire on the blue is just really sweet. Anyways, I just like Dreadnoughts. They're my favorite. I love Dreadnoughts, and I love slugga play. This match is pretty much tops for me. So, these slugga boys deciding not to engage those Plague Marines. They'll get pretty beat up if they do. Might take out a couple of them, but deciding to fall back for the time being and maybe regroup a little bit. Naaium's just going for some capping. He's got so much map right now. You can see JustFly down to his lone power node and soon to be his natural VP, but that's about it. Upon spotting that Dreadnought, the sluggas realize they have to fall back. So does the Orc Truck. And getting a couple swings in on that truck before it falls back. Truck not upgraded with its extra armor, but is level 2. Don't often see a level 2 or 3 truck on the field. It's kind of funny when they get upgraded because their guns really do almost no damage anymore. They actually used to do pretty decent anti-infantry damage, and I remember a long time ago I used to see truck spam. That was lots of fun. But it's just funny seeing them gain levels when they don't really do much in the way of damage. So a little bit of engagement happening all over the place right now. Siege Marines engaging shooters. Knobs getting beat up right now by the Corn Dreadnought. And oh, there goes the Super Tough Beam, which the Mech Boy must have upgraded right here. Oh man, Super Tough Beam makes them invulnerable to knockdown, suppression, and I believe reduces their damage as well. Those Plague Marines need to run. That Blood Rage, however, tearing through knobs. One knob escapes. Totally worth the Blood Rage right there. Now he just needs to turn around and deal with these sluggas. Unfortunately, that Blood Rage is not wearing off. And it looks like he's just going to go straight to the base with it. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, though, with those tank busters in behind it. If this doesn't pay off... Oh, the knob just barely survives with 80 HP. He's going to get another knob on here, and this Dreadnought's actually going to be in trouble. JustFly... Oh, man. He was on such a good road to a comeback. Losing this Corn Dreadnought is going to hurt him, though. Oh, there's just way too much for him to deal with, and that's exactly what you got to be careful with. He activates Blood Rage one last time just for the heck of it, maybe to get a couple extra kills. Takes out a couple slugga boys and maybe a knob here. And the last tank buster shot finishes it off. And JustFly was kind of focusing on that, was healing up, getting those Plague Marines healed back up, and didn't manage to actually take too much map back during that kind of base harass. It was a bit short-lived. Probably would have been worth it if he had taken out this knob squad, but ultimately I just don't think it was worth the risk. So a bit of a surprise here for a second, and we'll see how Naaium comes back onto the field. keeping this truck alive this long and just keeping those sluggas in it and very mobile. Definitely working out. Mechboy's level 4. Chaos Lord also level 4. And both of them kitted out pretty well right now. No armor for the Mechboy yet, but none of them really suits his means. I wouldn't be surprised to see the battery pack on him with these knobs on the field. Super tough beam plus have a taste equals a bad time for anyone playing against these orcs. Worship going down. A quick retreat on those Slugga boys. I guess that was necessary considering those siege bolts were going to come in and turn around and crush them. Oh no, this truck might finally be going down, however. 20 HP. And it's going to escape. Oh my goodness. A harrowing escape once again for that war truck. It's just barely survived so many times here. Knobs coming in, getting the super tough beam treatment and engaging the Plague Marines. In the meantime, that Mechboy's taking a lot of fire. I think he kind of expected those Siege Marines were just going to try to focus the knobs down, but they saw the weak Mechboy out there beyond cover and decided to go for that. And once that tough beam wore off, man, look at these knobs get annihilated. Unfortunately, the Mechboy's down right next to them, activates Call the Boys, and oh, it looks like those Plague Marines are gonna go down. Very unfortunate. I always feel like Call the Boys shouldn't work if your hero's dead, but it does indeed. And he just kind of has to fall back. Orc's still reinforcing for the time being. Of course, works a bit different in Elite Mod. You only get one solid reinforce. The reinforce doesn't continue for several seconds like it does in retail. Without those Plague Marines, he does still have those level 4 Siege Marines on the field, which are still causing lots of hurt to these knobs. But if these Siege Marines go down, it's going to be a bad time for JustFly right now. He doesn't really have the resources to bring much else onto the field. That Chaos Lord Blood Maul proving very useful in that engagement right there. 238 to 274. VP's still neck and neck. JustFly going tier 3, which I'm not sure I agree with, but we'll have to see how that works out. I don't think a Chaos Pred is really going to help too much. We've already got tank buses on the field, knobs, and of course the Mechboy himself, who's laying on his back in the center there. Finally returning a hero kill to Naaium for taking out his Chaos Lord a few times so far this game. These heretics in a lot of trouble. They're about to get flanked by a pile of sluggas. They drop one pile, and there comes the second, actually delaying the drop right there perfectly to be able to take out that squad. Got just enough into the retreat path with that truck speed to make a big difference. And sluggas hopping right back in. Oh no, and they're actually charging after. Oh, I know what's going to happen here. Oh, this is going to be very unfortunate for Mr. JustFly. Naaium's just going to hop in and hit swamp him as soon as those turrets open fire and engage right in the base here and at least be able to take out one of these squads most likely. They can't even hit retreat. They're just behind so many orcs. They're trying to get around them, but they get knocked down and try. Oh, they're just not going to be able to get into that retreat path. Constant knockdown. They kill a squad and fall back. Mission accomplished. Oh man, look at all the orky bits right there. Oh dear. Bits, bits, bits. Never enough bits for me. Never enough sluggas for me. And JustFly just completely lost his momentum. He came out so strong with that Khorne Dreadnought there, right there at the beginning, and now he's just, or not at the beginning, but at the kind of mid-game of Tier 2. But now he's just lost everything. A couple excellent plays there, taking out a couple squads with those Slugga boys. And just, man, Orcs just hurting feelings right now. Those Slugga boys have not been nice. Both of them level 4. Chaos Lord trying to just run around here. In the meantime, Naaium's capturing everything. Nob's gonna do the same thing the Sluggas just did, it looks like. Yep, hitting the meaner and greener.
Who dies today?
And they're just in their Nob frenzy right now. JustFly's trying to kite around, manages to keep them out of too much harm's way right there. Chaos Lord, and one last bit of defiance knocks all the orcs to the ground. But it looks like he might yet go down once again. Yeah, the Slugga Nob takes a swing, and that's going to be the GG right there. And what a game. Look at these happy orcs. I love Sluggas. I love Sluggas. Look at them all. Look at those big knobs. Look how angry he looks. Anyways, some good play by Naaium. JustFly had the potential to come back there in the center, but Once he had lost that corn dread, that was just too big a loss at the time, and kind of lost his forward momentum, and it was just downhill from there. A couple sweet plays there by Naaium with the Orc Sluggas. Anyways, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This was Red-Rupee, of course. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, subscribe. I always appreciate it, and I will be catching you guys next time.